The #1 question we get asked at SANDMARC is how we edit our photos and videos using the SANDMARC lenses and filters shot on the iPhone. Hey everybody, welcome back to the SANDMARC channel. I'm Gabriella, and today we're going to talk about exactly that. I'm going to walk you through my editing workflow and the apps that I use when I'm creating. So the setup today is going to be the iPhone 14 Pro with some of the SANDMARC lenses. I'm going to shoot on the iPhone 14 Pro because of the 48 megapixel sensor in the 24mm native lens right here. You really want to shoot on the 48 megapixel sensor because you're going to have an amazing amount of detail in your shots and you're going to be able to shoot raw. Now, shooting raw is really important for photography or videography because you're going to be able to have as much flexibility as you want in the editing process. It's going to allow you to tweak the colors, the exposure, and just give you a lot of creative freedom actually when you're doing this post-production side of creation. What's great about the lenses is it's going to change the look of the camera, so it could be a wide, a fisheye, or a telephoto, but you're still going to be utilizing this large sensor. All right, now that you know the plan, let's shoot. All right, so the first location we're going to go to is the Cafe Madeline out here in South Park. Got my iPhone 14 Pro with my SANDMARC wide lens attached to the standard 24mm native lens on the iPhone. I'm going to use the SANDMARC wide lens so I can get a pretty nice shot of the cafe. I want to utilize that 48 megapixel on the iPhone, so that's why I'm touching it down here, and wish me luck. Okay, here I am at my second location, which is Balboa Park, specifically the Casa del Prado Theater. I'm going to be using the telephoto lens for this shot, utilizing the 48 megapixel sensor again. I love all the details on the facade of the building, so I think this photo is going to turn out great. Let's get shooting. Here we are at a third location, which is just out in nature. I'm going to do a portrait with the telephoto lens and utilizing, you guessed it, the 48 megapixel. I'm just going to attach it to the standard camera on the iPhone and see what kind of shot I can get. All right, so that was fun. Now that I've got all my photos, let's edit. Hands down, my favorite editing apps are Lightroom and Visco. Both just have amazing features on them, great presets, and you really have creative freedom to tweak your photo and video however you'd like. Since both apps are on my personal phone, I've just transferred all the photos off of this phone onto this one. So here we go. So as you can see, I've pulled up this photo on the Lightroom app. And the first order of business, I think, is just to look at it and see how it's framed. Really important to identify the subject of the photo. Obviously it is Cafe Madeline, but I kind of want the audience to be really looking at that poster on the left-hand side, which is the crepes, paninis, coffee, tea poster, which I think is probably the most interesting part of the photo. So let's crop to kind of support that objective. Go ahead and complete that. You still get the wide field of view from the SANDMARC lens. Okay, so what we're gonna do first is create an S-curve. So you're gonna go to Light tab, go to Curves, and then just make a point here, make a point here. Basically what we're doing is just increasing the contrast of the photo. So you dip that down just a touch, maybe too much, just a little bit, and then you raise this just a little bit. And already it's it looks pretty good. So let's see, maybe just a little bit more. So yeah, I think that looks pretty nice. Let's do before and after. Yeah, so you're really getting this kind of vintage feel that I'm going for the photo. Just a nice kind of nostalgic feel. It's a Parisian cafe, so we're gonna try to capture that essence. Next, we're gonna go into the light tabs and just toggle those features. So exposure, I think just maybe drop it down just a tiny bit. Nice. Remember, trust the process. right, so we're pretty good shape right now. The next thing we want to go to the color tab, and what I like to do is make sure you've gotten the right color temperature. Do you want to make it a little bit cooler? Make it a little bit warmer? I think it was perfect, kind of how that was. Let's see. Maybe vibrance. Let's see how that looks. Oh, that's nice. So color mix. This is probably my favorite tab in the Lightroom app. This is going to allow you to adjust the different colors of the photo and really have a lot of creative license on what your eye is being drawn to. There's a lot of red in this photo, so I like that. That's kind of framing the poster of the Cafe Madeleine, but I really want to increase the yellows of the sign. So let's go here. Let's actually go to the select tool, which is easier for me, and select that yellow, and let's boost it up. So that's hue, we're boosting up, then let's do saturation too. Let's boost that up just a touch. Yes, I'm liking it. Okay, what I do not like is the green undertones on the building. So that is a little bit distracting. So what we're gonna go to, instead of selecting that, we're gonna go back and we're gonna make a mask. Making a mask is intimidating, but it's not that hard. So what you just do is you press the plus sign, and you're gonna do the brush tool, and then you just brush in everywhere that you are kind of not really liking the yellow green tones. Go into color, and let's just cool it down. So making that down, yeah, that kind of looks kind of cool. Okay, let's do that. I actually don't really care for the yellows as much now. So let's go back to color. Go back to the mix. Let's take it down just a little bit. So yeah, I think that looks pretty good. And now we're just gonna go into the detail work of it all. The details are kind of erasing some of the stains on the ground, getting rid of that white sign. So we're just gonna go to healing. And this is just a process. You're tweaking as you're going. You kind of, ooh, that looks kind of nice. And then you're just kind of tweaking as you go. And I think that's almost there. I think the last thing I want to do is make a mask on the window and get rid of some of that. So let's go to add a mask. Kind of nice. Let's work on the blues, because I kind of like if the blues would pop a little bit more. Let's rock and roll. Maybe just tweak the yellows just a little bit, because I'm never satisfied. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, you can always do different little effects. Vignette is helpful if you want to have that kind of focus even more on the subject of your photo by having it darkening on the edges. That's kind of cool. So yeah, let's do that. Let's save that. Okay, so the next photo that we're gonna edit is the Casa del Prado Theater photo I took in Balboa Park with the telephoto lens. So I've already pulled it up on Visco, and right off the bat, it looks pretty good. I really like all the details that the telephoto lens was able to capture on the facade of the building. The colors are really nicely popping, and I think the subject of my photo for the viewer to really focus on is obviously going to be all the sculpture around the window, but I really want the window to pop because it's just going to pull in all the busyness of the different details and really make it an enjoyable experience that the audience is going to be pulled into the photo. So without much more delay, let's look for a cool preset to use. Yeah, so already I know kind of which presets are my favorite. So usually it's G6 Pro, which does look nice. It's a lot of nice golden overtones, and then the window is really nicely focused on with the blue detail. But I also like this one. That one is nice, and it kind of captures the organic colors pretty nicely. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and stick with this one. Okay, so I think that's pretty good. I mean, if you wanted to go for a more dramatic preset, you could, but I'm kind of happy with what we have. It's just subtle and just looks great. So let's save that one. Okay, so for the third and final photo that I'm gonna edit, I pulled up the portrait that I took outside, and the telephoto did a great job. Honestly, it's a shallow depth of field. Everything looks like it's in focus. Maybe we could, my lips are definitely in focus. My eyes are a little out of focus, but that's easy to fix. Let's just go into details and sharpening. And that's pretty good. Definitely the left eye is gonna be the focal point of my photo. Nice. Okay, cool. So let's go do the same steps we did in the first video with the S curve. So that looks pretty good. Let's go to exposure. Ooh, that's kind of nice, going a little bit darker so my highlights on my face really pop. So now let's go to my favorite part, which is the color mix. So the greens are very, very saturated in this photo, and I think because I want my eyes to pop, we kind of have to tone that down so my face is the focal point and not all the green around me. So the eyes are definitely popping now more. Let's select my lips. Yeah, I kind of like that. That's kind of more of like a dark, I don't know. Let's stick with this for now, and then we'll come back to it if we need to. I'm liking it, but I think we might have to go into mask to brighten the eye, so let's do that. So let's see. So that's pretty nice. I think definitely that looks great. I see a few imperfections, so I'm gonna go ahead and lean into my vanity and get rid of some of the blemishes. Okay, great. So there's just a few more little aspects I want to change. I think I'm going to adjust my hair just a touch, just create another mask. Okay, and so I think I'm going to go into presets, and I know there's a preset for portraits, so let's see. I think they're in premium, and let's see, enhanced portrait. Let's see what that looks like. I guess it does like a little bit of like skin smoothing, so let's see what that looks like. Oh yeah, so let's do that. Maybe just a little less. I do want some of those details. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. So let's go ahead and look at the final product. Yeah, not bad. Now that you see how I edit, I'd love to see what you guys come up with. Comment in the section below and tell me what SANDMARC lenses or filters you want to shoot with next, and what apps you use to edit with. Thanks for watching, and I hope this video helps you next time you're shooting or editing in a mobile app. Make sure to like this video and subscribe for more videos like this. And happy shooting!